Tell them the story you shared with me about this young child in Iraq.
It's crazy. So ISIS, when they rolled in and they took advantage and took all the minority religious children, Christian Yazidis, and they're setting up these like baby factories where they'll impregnate women and make the babies just to sell their body parts. One little boy in particular, who that was happening to him, he was kidnapped actually at 4 or 5 years old until he was 12, and they would just slowly suck like the spinal fluid, and they would sell it. This is a witch doctrine kind of satanic ritual stuff where they sell the blood. By the time he was 11 years old, he looked like he was 7, and he couldn't use his limbs. And we were able to get him to a doctor in Salt Lake at the Children's Shriners Hospital, and they did an experimental surgery and fixed him. You know, he was casted up, his whole body, but then they took the cast, and it worked, and he walks now, and he rides horses, and he rides bikes. Crazy that it's growing even more so right now. It's still the fastest growing criminal enterprise in the world. I mean, last I looked, it's now rivaling the drug trade. You know, it's because what these traffickers are finding is, look, I can sell a bag of cocaine once. I can sell a child 10 to 20 times over a 24-hour period. So it's extremely lucrative. And so long as the United States, we are the number one demand. And so long as we continue sexualizing the world, pornifying the world, sexualizing children, well, that demand is just going to keep increasing, and the traffickers are going to continue to do their dirty work on kids. So sexualizing the world, sexualizing children. In about 17 seconds, I'm going to show you 19 words that represent a fact. After reading them, you might be someone who needs some serious mental help, or you need to get on your knees and repent and seek some kind of... That when the well-being of children is the first and last question one considers when devising policy, the impossible often comes to pass. Heaven knows nobody deserves it more. And so, yeah, like Reagan, I'm a firm believer in divine plans. And so, yes, I do hold out hope. And I hope that the voices of Gazan mothers and their children can, like the Druze and like the Christians in Syria, can find their way out through the complicit and deceptive voices of the Western media, so that true and lasting liberation might be an option for them as well. Some groups, such as the Center for Peace Communications, have already been successful in getting these otherwise silenced Gazan voices out to the world. Perhaps these voices can stir a revolution. Perhaps these voices can lead the innocent children to some sort of relocation to some other land, a land far away from terrorist Hamas rule. I guess we'll just have to see. In the meantime, the inkhorn is being filled. Every betrayal, every child raped, every baby starved, every church burnt, every misleading reporter's pen, every uninformed podcaster's voice, it's all being written down. And history and heaven will remember who defended God's children and who betrayed them. I didn't go to Israel to argue. I went to testify. I saw, I heard, and I believe it. And I will not remain silent, because God's children are not for sale.
Happened for Israel. You didn't know any of this?
I mean, I don't know the politics of Israel. I haven't worked much.
The politics of Israel is that they control the United States. Benjamin Netanyahu is the de facto president. That's why I don't have really any faith in President Trump. He does what the Jews tell him to do. Everybody's afraid to say that. I don't know why. It's very obvious. They paid him $100 million. Does that concern you? I'm interviewing you. You asked me if I thought that Trump was going to get it done. Let me ask you. Does it concern you that this guy wants to own Gaza, take all the kids that are now going to be trafficked in the United States, who are going to be subjected to, where are all these millions of displaced Gazan children going to go? Trump wants to build Gaza Lago. Does that concern you?
I'm not informed enough on that one to opine, but I'll look into it and we can have another conversation.
Well, I'll just tell you. Trump wants to annex all of the Gazans, all of the Palestinians, the descendants of Jesus Christ, the real Israelites who have had rightful ownership of this land for 4,000 to 5,000 years, and turn it over to the United States government, or ostensibly Israel, for them to complete their Greater Israel project. And then he wants to build this beachfront property. Jared Kushner was on record talking about how this waterfront property was really great. Then they paid Trump $100 million, and now he's saying that it's unlivable. Do you find it interesting that he's saying this is nothing more than rubble, this is all unlivable, and then he's showing entire apartment complexes and city blocks of residences, schools, libraries, churches, hospitals that have been completely obliterated and flattened, but nobody's talking about who did it. Who turned this wasteland into this? Who held these people in an open-air child sex trafficking concentration camp for centuries, at minimum decades? Who's responsible for this? These are the people that we should be going to war against. Well, you can't do that because they're our greatest ally. And our greatest ally was also responsible for blowing up, torpedoing, napalming, and then strafing the lifeboats of the sailors that were aboard the USS Liberty. This is an evil country. It's a fake country, just arbitrarily established on May 14th, 1948, when the Palestinians, after being evicted from 109 countries, said, we'll give you a place to live. And then those people in turn came in and they enslaved them. The hub for child sex trafficking are places, these war zones. Ukraine is a great example. We just talked about it. Gaza, where are these kids going to go? Trump wants to own it. He's going to get Trump Tower and another golf course in Gaza. Kushner's going to get his beachfront property. You want to talk about what concerns me? That concerns me. What concerns me is that we're sending the bombs that are necessary to annex these people and complete the Greater Israel Project. What concerns me is that we're funding all of the pornographic and pedophilic material that you're here discussing with me that we would like to get rid of. Did you know that Israel houses more convicted pedophiles than any other country, that they won't give them back for other countries to hold them to account? They won't allow them to be extradited back here? Did you know that?
I did not know. But if
this is our greatest ally.
Let's go get them. Let's go get the kid. I mean, I go anywhere, do anything where the kids are getting hurt, and I'm all in.
If you have President Trump's ear, then it would be my request, and probably the request of our entire viewing audience, if you would get in his ear and ask him, what the hell are you doing? Why would you be supporting the pedophile, pornographic network of terrorists that have completely obliterated these people? And now you're subjecting millions of Gazan children to the very thing that I'm fighting against, which is protecting these children. I want to protect these children. Will you help me do that? Why are you doing this? Who's controlling you? Why are you doing this?
I'm definitely going to dig into this. I know my friend Candace Owens has brought this to my attention, and it's something I got to dig into, because I have not. I haven't dug into this part yet. Every day we're just rescuing kids left and right and trying to build.
Does USAID fund your current projects?
Absolutely not. I've never known that. I didn't know USAID funded the Nazarene Fund. When I was there, they certainly did not. I've never taken money from USAID on any of my projects.
That's just really strange, because this is like official records from the Nazarene Fund. Their tax year ending in 2023 shows Glenn Beck, David Barton, Tim Barton, Tanya Beck, and Tim Ballard. All of them received $0 in compensation, minus Tim Ballard, who it says that you received, according to the tax filings from the USAID grant flow, $107,165. It's a lot of money to not know about. So, I mean, I'm not attacking you, but I mean, if this is a criminal organization who's disappropriating funds and paying for the exploitation of children to take place amid a whole lot of other things that USAID is responsible for doing, it just strikes me as I would like an explanation. How does this happen? Because it's not just an easy process. You don't just get granted, without asking permission, government money from the taxpayer by USAID. There's a very lengthy process that goes to get involved with USAID and getting approved for the grant money. So I just don't know how that can just be forgotten.
I can tell you, I left the Nazarene Fund in early 2023, and I was never aware. I oversaw operations. I never was aware of any grant. I never sought a grant from USAID. I had no idea. So
I wonder what happened to the $107,000 that the Nazarene Fund is reporting went to you. Well, it didn't go to you. Where did it go?
They paid me to go risk my life to rescue children. So yeah, I get paid to do that. I have 9 children, and they pay me money. So
that's another thing is that now we have to look at USAID like, well, who else are they funding? Because a lot of times, they'll present this, hey, the one thing that we're fighting against is X, right? And then that person goes and does that exact thing that they say that they're fighting against. Not to say that you are. I'm saying USAID is responsible for this, which is why they astroturf people like
I'm disturbed to know
Charlie
that the Nazarene Fund took money from USAID. I don't know how that came in. I don't know what grant person put that in, but that's disturbing to me, especially what we know now. So, I would never work with USAID and never take money from them.
Yeah, I got my laptop back. Can you guys put it? It's plugged in. Can you put it on the? Here it is. I have it pulled up right here. This is what it says: USAID grant flow. There's the EIN number for the Nazarene Fund. There it is, the Nazarene Fund.
I'll have to talk to Glenn Beck about why he took money from the USAID. I'll find out what they were doing. I had no idea.
When is the next documentary coming out?
The next documentary is this summer, Hidden War. It'll be international theatrical release, just basically showing our team running from Ukraine to Mexico to Ecuador to Florida and dismantling an entire pedophile network, arresting about 300 kids. It's going to be it's very powerful because of you get into the mind and the agenda of this pedophile movement. And it's action packed, but also it's really creepy how these guys network, how they work, how they politic, how they're trying to become political parties and get taxpayer dollars to fund their pedophilia. So they're
getting it. They're getting it. Millions, billions. I would say that more than drug trafficking, the number one racket comes at the expense and the blood of little children, and the childhood innocence that's being murdered is $1 trillion annual operation. We just went through the Super Bowl, the satanic ritual of the Super Bowl, and they say that is like the number one. You would know. I mean, isn't that the statistic that's the number one child sex trafficking hub is the Super Bowl, and that happens here, and we just put it on, we celebrate and we clap while Taylor Swift goes there with her fake homosexual Pfizer spokesman. It's all so fake. It's all so fake. These people are evil, and they're all having sex with kids, and they're all on tape having sex with kids, and the Mossad people in Israel and Netanyahu, they own all those tapes, you see? And so if these people get out of line, those tapes come out.
I was molested and sexually assaulted by Tim in 4 different states, 5 different countries, in the span of 10 months.
It started with a stain on an unwashed leather skirt, and now one of the women accusing Tim Ballard of sexual assault says the Utah State Crime Lab has a 100% DNA match. I'm Fox 13 investigative reporter Adam Herbets, and these are the new court documents just filed in one of the cases against Tim Ballard. He was the CEO of Operation Underground Railroad, an anti-human trafficking nonprofit. But he left that organization after multiple women came forward to accuse him of sexual misconduct. They say he tricked them into acting out sexual situations, claiming it was all part of an undercover technique to catch child sex predators. Now, one of those women used to be his executive assistant, Celeste Boris. She's filed a lawsuit and spoken with multiple police departments. And for months, she and other women have been releasing evidence, like dirty text messages with Ballard. Now she says the bodily fluid on her skirt will prove her story. Now, so far, the Utah County Sheriff's Office doesn't want to confirm or deny the DNA match to protect the active criminal investigation. But we asked Ballard's legal team if they had an explanation or if they thought the report was false. Instead of responding to those questions, they said the women and their attorneys are, quote, tainting an ongoing investigation, desperately trying to generate some PR. We'll wait for the court's judgment on their actions and for law enforcement to complete its investigation, if that's even possible now. Now, as part of their court filings, the women did attach text messages with that Utah County detective and a letter they sent to prosecutors.
I don't know how you handle this, Eric. I don't know how to be dragged into, you were involved in the death and all this crazy, evil stuff.
No, it's sick.
God bless you.
It's sick.
God bless you. It is.
My family means everything to me.
Conservative radio host Glenn Beck has long backed OUR and Ballard. He took to his show Wednesday, saying his media company has interviewed 5 women who claim to be victims of sexual misconduct by Ballard. Beck says his media company was set to publish an investigative piece before the women's attorney shut it down.
I have read the quotes and listened to the tape of the interviews. And I will tell you, I believe one side, but I could be wrong.
KSL has confirmed that more than 5 women are working with an attorney to report the sexual misconduct allegations, which include taking showers or sharing a bed with Ballard under the guise of playing his wife for undercover missions. We do not know if those women are the same women Beck spoke with. Beck also says he still considers Ballard a friend, but a friend who is, quote, gravely misguided and needs. Ballard has explained the couple's ruse as a tool to fool child sex traffickers. Beck